This video is about walking on platforms. This is going to be very detailed, so pay attention and I'll try to provide you with as much detail as possible to understand the concept. So starting off with, there's two sprites for this character and there's only one object. The reason being that if you had a detailed character in your game, you would need half a dozen to a dozen different positions to make that character well animated. And if you had the same amount of objects for that character, it would make your job very difficult to program each of those objects. So instead, we can use the one object and program it to switch it between the many different looks or sprites depending on what it's doing. So we're going to use the right because the character is going to be walking in the right direction in this game to start off with, but if he turns left, he'll face left and walk back in that direction. So looking here, typically what we've done in the past activity was to create a character that moves in the right and left direction, and we used a standard move command. So I'm going to take that command out so that we can use a jump command that will enable the character to move in smaller increments. So put jump in your action window, and to indicate where the jump is going, you use coordinates X and Y. Before we get into that, listen closely. X and Y coordinates, just like you've seen in math. See, you said you wouldn't need math. Well, here it is in Game Maker, big time. So the XY coordinates are typically negative X to the left, positive X to the right. But in the Y-axis, they've flipped them upside down, so your negative axis is up here and the positive Y-axis is down here. This jump command is going to tell the character to jump 4 pixels or 1 full step to the right. So that would be X4. Now, this is going to be relative because if we don't make it relative, this will send the character to the upper left-hand corner of the screen, which is the origin of the game, XY0 origin. So we need to make this relative to the character. Click OK. So the first move to the right, let's check it out. Press F5 and there you go. So your character can jump, or holding the button down, just move straight forward. So you've actually got two options here in moving the character. The next step is the left option, to move to the left. So we're going to put in a new event, keyboard left, jump, and in this case going to jump to the left, which is a -4, and relative. Let's test it out. Okay, but he's kind of backing up there. He's not facing the left when needed. So the next move is, under the tab main 1, we're going to change the sprite. So drag that into actions, sprite, change it to the left position. Subimage means the image within the sprite. There is only one image, so that you don't need to worry about that. And speed of 1. Leave them as they are. Click OK. F5. Right, left. Uh-oh. So now he's backing up to the right. This is because we need to change him back to his right position. So I went to sprite, brought it over, double clicked, and chose right. Let's check that out. Right, left, right, left. Okay. From here, we need to develop a a command to jump in the air or go up. So again, keyboard command up, and basically we're going to use a vertical speed tool to give him some vertical speed when the player presses up, and that speed is going to be roughly 6. Since the y-axis is flipped and we're talking about vertical speed, you would need to apply a negative sign to the speed so that the character is going up. We're not going to touch relative because this would increase the speed each time you press up, making the speed double each time. Click OK. Let's test it out. Left, right, okay, and he's gone. He just developed wings. So there's a problem there. We need to limit his vertical ascent, and that's done by applying a natural gravity to counterbalance with the vertical ascent. So this takes us to a new type of event that you've never touched before, called a step.